What if the most feared villain in cinematic history didn't lose his final battle, but won it by refusing to be a villain anymore? What if Darth Vader's story was never really about becoming evil, but about how long a good man can survive while buried under guilt, fear, and a black mask? Because when you strip away the breathing machine, the cape, and the terrifying posture, Darth Vader isn't a monster. He's a tragedy that kept walking. This is the story of how Darth Vader fell, why that fall lasted decades, and how the Force itself pulled him back, not with power, but with a choice. Anakin Skywalker was never meant to be a villain. Before there was Darth Vader, there was Anakin Skywalker, a boy discovered in slavery and told he might be the most important Jedi who ever lived. The Jedi Order saw him as the chosen one, destined to bring balance to the Force. But destiny in Star Wars is never a straight road. It's a pressure cooker. Anakin's greatest strength was also his greatest weakness. He felt everything. Love wasn't a distraction to him, it was oxygen. Fear wasn't an abstract warning, it was personal. The Jedi taught restraint, detachment, and calm. Anakin felt obsession, urgency, and dread. That mismatch created a fault line long before the dark side ever got involved. The tragedy is that Anakin didn't fall because he wanted power. He fell because he wanted certainty. He wanted guarantees. He wanted to believe that if he became strong enough, fast enough, ruthless enough, he could stop loss from happening again. And that fear made him easy prey. Palpatine didn't create Vader. He framed the world for him. The dark side didn't drag Anakin down kicking and screaming. It explained things to him. And the one doing the explaining was Emperor Palpatine, the galaxy's most patient manipulator. Palpatine never said, "Be evil." He said, "Be realistic." He reframed compassion as weakness and control as responsibility. He turned fear into wisdom and violence into necessity. Step by step, Anakin was taught that love was dangerous unless it could be controlled, and control, conveniently, required absolute power. By the time Anakin becomes Vader, the decision feels less like a leap and more like a surrender. He isn't choosing darkness because he enjoys it. He's choosing it because he believes there's no other way left to protect what he loves. That belief is the real poison. The armor is not a throne. It's a cage. From the outside, Darth Vader looks unstoppable. He commands fleets, crushes rebellions, and terrifies entire star systems with a glance. But the black armor isn't a crown, it's a reminder. The suit keeps him alive, but it also keeps him in pain. Every breath is mechanical. Every movement is constrained. Vader's body is a constant echo of Mustafar, a walking consequence of the moment Anakin tried to control fate and lost everything instead. Emotionally, the suit serves another purpose. It creates distance between Vader and the galaxy, between Vader and his past, between Vader and Anakin. As long as the mask stays on, Vader can pretend that the man underneath no longer exists. That illusion is what allows him to function. It's also what keeps him trapped. Luke Skywalker is a problem Vader can't solve. When Luke Skywalker enters Vader's life, he isn't a miracle. He's a disruption. Luke doesn't challenge Vader with superior strength or clever strategy. He challenges him with something far more dangerous: belief. Luke believes his father is still alive inside the armor, not physically, morally, spiritually. And that belief does something Palpatine never anticipated. It forces Vader to confront a question he's been avoiding for decades. What if Anakin Skywalker isn't dead? Every encounter with Luke cracks the narrative Vader has built for himself. If Anakin is truly gone, then Luke's hope is meaningless. But if Luke is right, if even a fragment of Anakin remains, then Vader isn't a force of nature. He's a man making choices. That possibility terrifies him more than the dark side ever did. The throne room is not a fight. It's a trial. The climax of Return of the Jedi is often remembered as a spectacle. Lightsabers clashing, blue lightning tearing through the air, and the Emperor reveling in chaos. But strip away the visual drama, and the real battle unfolding in the throne room is not physical at all. It is philosophical. It is a trial of belief systems, values, and identities. Every action in that room is designed to answer one question: what ultimately defines a person? Power or choice? Palpatine is not interested in killing Luke quickly. Death would be a wasted opportunity. What he wants is proof. He wants Luke to break, to give in to fear and anger, to confirm the Sith belief that morality is a temporary illusion, and that everyone, given enough pressure, will choose domination over compassion. Vader stands silently beside him as Exhibit A, a living argument that even the strongest Jedi can be reduced to obedience through pain and loss. Luke's refusal to strike back destabilizes that entire worldview. By throwing away his weapon, Luke rejects the core Sith logic that power must always be seized and wielded. He refuses control. He refuses fear. In doing so, he creates a moment the dark side cannot account for. The throne room becomes less about who wins the duel and more about which philosophy survives. And in that moment of ideological collapse, Vader is forced to confront a choice he has spent decades avoiding: remain the Emperor's instrument, or remember that he is a father. Vader's redemption begins with hesitation. Redemption doesn't start when Vader lifts Palpatine. It starts earlier, in silence. In the pause. In the moment where Vader watches his son suffer and doesn't immediately obey. That hesitation is everything. It's Anakin surfacing through layers of pain, obedience, and self-loathing. It's the realization that the dark side never delivered what it promised. It didn't save Padme. It didn't bring peace. It didn't erase guilt. It only made the loss permanent. When Vader finally acts, it isn't rage that drives him. It's love. And love in Star Wars is aligned with the light side of the Force when it's selfless rather than possessive. Vader isn't trying to control Luke. He's trying to save him. That single choice is enough. The mask removal is the true fall of Darth Vader. When Luke removes Vader's mask, Darth Vader ceases to exist. Not because he dies, but because he no longer needs the lie. For the first time since Mustafar, Anakin Skywalker looks at someone he loves with his own eyes. No intimidation, no authority, no fear, just presence. The request is simple and devastating. Let me look on you with my own eyes. This is the moment Darth Vader truly falls. Not into darkness, but out of it. The armor was never just protection. It was denial. And denial collapses the second Anakin accepts responsibility without self-hatred. He doesn't ask for forgiveness from the galaxy. He asks for connection with his son. And that is enough to bring him back into balance with the Force. Redemption through the Force is not escape. It is alignment. One of the most misunderstood aspects of Vader's redemption is the idea that it lets him off the hook. It doesn't. Anakin dies. He does not rule. He does not rebuild. He does not undo the harm he caused. Redemption in Star Wars is not about consequences being erased. It's about alignment being restored. The Force responds not to perfection, but to intention. When Anakin chooses compassion over fear, sacrifice over domination, he returns to the light. That's why he appears as a Force spirit, not as Darth Vader, but as Anakin Skywalker. The identity that was buried, not destroyed, finally reemerges. Why Darth Vader's fall still matters. Darth Vader endures because his story isn't about space politics or galactic war. It's about a universal fear, the belief that once you've gone too far, there's no way back. Star Wars rejects that idea, not by minimizing harm, but by insisting that choice never fully disappears, even at the end, even after decades of darkness, even behind a mask built from regret. Vader's fall is not the moment he turns evil. It's the moment he stops pretending he can't change. And that is why his redemption still resonates. Not because it's easy, but because it costs him everything and gives him back the one thing the dark side never could: his humanity. If this video made you see Darth Vader differently, and you enjoy deep dives that go beyond lightsabers and explosions into the psychology and meaning behind iconic characters, like and subscribe. If you want to be smarter every day, like and subscribe.